Cancer risings. Hey. Hi, Cancer risings. This is Astro Dim here doing your Astro Tarot reading for October 2018. Is you ready or not? Okay, so I already shuffled the cards here. And I'm going to cut them. Now, I know you're looking at the head of the cards like, oh my God, these cards are different. Well, guys, this is my first tarot deck that I received, right? And so it's the mandala astrological tarot. So it has the, the actual traditional tarot meanings and cards and shit. Well, not really traditional, but quote unquote traditional, because we know that Egyptians was doing tarot before everybody, but whatever. Anyways, so with all that being said, though, listen, they include the placements, the astrological placements in the cards too. So it's really, really cool. Of course, I'm going to be doing my own astrological interpretations based off the chart. If we were to do an equal sign system or something similar to that, you know what I mean? Or equal house system, equal sign, equal house. Yeah. Also, too, this is actually my first Astro deck. And I lost this whole kit, and my mother ended up finding it in the basement. I don't know how it got to the basement, but it was there. And yeah, in traditional tarot, you were supposed to be called to do tarot if another tarot person gives you a deck, right? Or an intuitive person gives you a deck. And that happened to me. One of my best friend's mothers gave me a deck and said, trust me, you'll need this. At this time, I was only doing astrology. I felt like my intuition was blocked and I could not do something like tarot. But it took years afterwards for me to realize that, hey, I can do tarot. Hey, I'm pretty decent at this, and I should apply this to astrology. So she knew ahead of time. Isn't that amazing how that works? Anywho, let's cut these cards, right? And work on y'all's reading for October 2018 and get things started, okay? So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Okay. Okay. All right. So should I pick from the bottom? Well, I'm picking from the bottom for the overall card and then picking from the top for the rest of them, okay? Your overall energy, Cancer risings, is the Magician. Hey, Sharice Taylor, what's up? So you guys have the Magician card, Cancer risings, for your overall energy. That is dope. Tower for the, wow, this is actually going so well for one of my friends, one of my soul tribe members who's a Cancer rising. She felt like she was going through a transformation. It makes so much sense. I have to send this to her. Queen of Pentacles for the second house. 10 of Swords for the third. Yikes. This is actually so much like her energy. And I was like, wasn't really thinking about her that much. But now I just thought of it and I'm like, wow, this is her energy. Fifth house, the Queen of Cups. Sixth house, the Devil. Goodness gracious. Cancer rising. What the fuck? Seventh house, the Judgment. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm sorry. I just gotta fix something here. Hold on, y'all. Why is this doing this? So sorry, y'all. It's acting nuts. Okay, I'm back. Like cook crack. All right. So this was one of the cards. This is for the 8th house, I believe. 2 of Wands. 9th house, Ace of Swords. I feel like there's always like a brand new beginning in the 9th house for you guys. For just in general, for like the readers I've been doing, it's interesting. 10th house, Justice. 11th house, King of Cups. You have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. That's interesting. And they're opposite of each other. That's really interesting. Prince of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles. So the 12th, okay? All right, so Cancer risings, or Sharice, if you're Cancer rising, have you been feeling this big transformation happening within you? If you have, it's probably because Pluto is opposite of you. And that can kind of cause some craziness, right? My life has been upside down. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Um, yeah, it's because Pluto, Pluto gives positive transformations, but it likes to shake your ass up while in the process of it. And so your seventh house is Pluto. So you relating to people, whether it's romantic, platonic, whatever, has been stressing you out, and it's opposite of yourself. Sorry, hold on 1 second, okay? There's someone at the door. Oh, sorry. Talk about upside down. Sorry. Okay, so let's fix this again. I'm so sorry. Anyways, yeah, it's because of Pluto, and relating to people's been difficult. And then Pluto's opposite of self. So again, like you are kind of feeling going, oh, geez Louise. What is, ever since you said upside down, Sharice, this has been happening. Isn't that crazy? Um, but yeah, well, actually, ever since Pluto hit Cancer, you've probably been feeling this, but you're probably feeling it stronger. I wouldn't be surprised if you're like around 18 degrees Cancer, your sun sign is, because those are people that are feeling it the most around like the second decade Cancer folks. But anyways, let's get to this reading, all right? The Tower card is in your first house, right? There's nothing in Cancer, but again, that Pluto energy opposite of you is making you going through a personal transformation. You probably been feeling that, hey, me relating to people is really stressing me out. I'm having a hard time connecting with folks. And maybe I need to see what's up with me, what's up in the inside to see what's going on with me, what's wrong. Why do I have this aggression? Or why do I feel melancholy? Or why do I feel just so crazy at this moment? You know what I mean? Pluto is asking you to transform how you relate to people. And the thing is, you have to do that by working on yourself. And so you're having this tower moment in your first house. It's shaking you up. And it's like Mars, even though tower gives me more Pluto vibes, I can see why they gave this to Mars. Because Mars used to kind of connect to the Scorpio energy, and Scorpio is connected to Pluto now, so I kind of see it. But, I can see that too because Mars is also very destructive and shake things up and kind of go nuts. You know what I mean? It's a little bit direct in how you are affected. So I feel like you may be literally having things, it feels like things are like falling around you and you need to kind of pick it back up. The great thing about the tower, though, is that it's wiping away the old so you can rebuild the new. This is why you have the Magician card in your overall energy, because you can start all over again. This is the number one card. You have the ability to manifest positivity in your life, but you have to go through this tower moment of self first, to rebuild it. You have to knock the old part of you and reconstruct and build the new. You know what I mean? So when you're feeling like, instant like pushback, and you still see things crumbling all around you, that means you're going through a transformation. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, that you're going through a transformation. Pluto just went direct, and so it's pushing forward. It's not holding back anymore. It's pushing forward and making things fall around you. But it's so, right, that you can go ahead and manifest the positivity within your life now, okay? And the Magician card is so powerful because, again, it's your thoughts and your communication can make things happen, can make things come into reality. But you have to really believe it. You can't just say it and be like, yeah, whatever. You have to believe it from your core, and it will really happen. I've seen it happen. I was giving a speech to my mom, like, I've seen this happen. It's possible. You get what I'm saying? The first house generally represents your personality, your persona, and your appearance. So these are probably the things you want to change. I would say not change your appearance because Venus is retrograde. Some people still change their appearance with Venus retrograde, but a lot of times afterwards they regret it. So you might even look good with this new appearance, but then you're like, I wish I didn't do that because I kind of wish my hair was shorter or longer or whatever. You know what I mean? Or whatever change you do. So I wouldn't kind of change your appearance, but maybe change how you appear to people through your insight, through your personality or persona. You get what I'm saying? And your first impressions. So there's nothing in Cancer, so I can't speak on any planetary things there, but I can definitely speak about that opposite, okay? Your second house is the Queen of Pentacles, and they called this the Capricorn throne, which is interesting because the Queen of Pentacles always gave me kind of a kind of a Taurus-y vibe, but I can see Capricorn too because Capricorn does have a Venusian side to it, especially the second deck in Capricorns. But anywho, this is a great card to have in your second house. Your second house represents your self-worth and your material worth, right? And when I think of the Queen of Pentacles, right, they really are able to indulge in the beauty around them because they took care of themselves. They did all the things that they were responsible of. They was a good girl, quote unquote. And so now you have the ability to go ahead and indulge in the things around you. And so you probably just want to enjoy yourself. You want to kind of just like spend money on certain things that you want. Or maybe this is what you are wanting to do. You might not be there specifically money-wise, but this might be something that you're striving to be or striving to do this October, to go around and be able to splurge, be able to enjoy yourself in general. Because you've done all the responsible things that you were supposed to do when it comes to your money. You know what I mean? And having, the Queen of Pentacles for the second house is great for your self-worth too, because that's what the second house represents, is self-worth. And, when it comes to self-worth, this is like what you feel inside. And I always give this speech to my clients when I give them readings that in order to get the material worth of the second house, you need to have self-worth. You need to know how much you're worth and realize that you are worthy. You know what I mean? And so having the Queen of Pentacles is showing that you are aware that you are worthy. You're being receptive of people's thoughts and what they have to say, but you still understand that you're worthy in general. So that's actually a beautiful energy to have here. Leo is in your second house generally for people that are Cancer risings. And that means the North Node is actually here. And so this is great. That means that you are on the right track of when it comes to your self-expression. You are, in general, Cancer risings can make money off of being like creative, being self-expressive, using their talents, their natural talents. And so it seems like you're able to your talents and you're applying your talents appropriately so you can monetize off of it, or you're like already are doing that. You get what I'm saying? And so with North Node being here, it shows me that you are actually on the right track with having the Queen of Pentacles in your second house too. Okay? Third house is the Ten of Swords. All right? And the placement they have is Uranus and Gemini, which is funny. Because Uranus and Gemini is a crazy ass energy. It really is. But Virgo's in your third house generally. There's nothing in Virgo right now. But having the Ten of Swords is tricky because the Ten of Swords, it feels like you're being like stabbed in the back. So you may have found out that you've been stabbed in the back by somebody, or found out you've talked to someone and they've like said some really messed up stuff for you and you generally feel like you've been stabbed in the back. It could be like a secretive thing, whatever. But you are not feeling completely good because you felt like someone has betrayed you. Or maybe you have done the same. Maybe you've stabbed someone in the back and you're paying back for it now. But regardless, this communication and this like event of being hurt is stuck in your brain and you can't get out of it. It's good to think things through. It's good to be introspective. It's good to be reflective, right? Very, very good. But the thing is, though, is that you need to eventually stop, like, you know, being so focused on the negative and learn from it and move on from it. Virgo is your third house generally, right? And Virgo is obsessive sometimes on making things right. Sometimes what you have to do is accept that you did wrong or accept that someone else did wrong, forgive yourself, and move on. You can't obsess over something over and over again. It's not going to change anything because it already happened. It already happened in the present. There's nothing else you can do. So all you got to do is kind of think over it, learn the lessons from it, right? Understand what you've done wrong or what the person did wrong. Forgive yourself or forgive the person who did you wrong and move on. When you think of Uranus and Gemini, you know, Uranus is random events happening all over the place that gives you shock value, right? And Gemini represents communication. So it is showing that someone shocked you and hurt you through their communication or through the way they think or something like that. But the thing is about Gemini too is that Gemini moves the hell on. It's a social butterfly. It'll be talking to one person and then off to the next. So you need to kind of learn your lesson and move on to the next. Gemini is all about self-realization. So learn your lesson, talk to the person, learn your lesson, forgive yourself, move on with your life. Okay? So whatever you feel bad about here, you need to let it go. You need to learn from it, then let it go. Okay? Don't let it be stuck in your mind because it's literally nothing you can do about it now. Whether you did the wrong or the person did the wrong, okay? Please be aware of that. You have the Emperor card for your fourth house, which is pretty cool. So this kind of gives me King of the Castle feel. That you are feeling very proud, feeling very authoritative within your home, within your family, or within your emotions. You feel like you're taking charge of your emotions, right? This could be for better or for worse, though. You could feel in charge of your emotions, and then like you're feeling bad about something, and now you feel like you have to like be combative with it. But you could be in charge of your emotions and be very mature with it. So you know, it's up to you. You have to tell me how you feel about it because the Emperor card is very neutral. It could be a positive, great emperor or a ridiculous tyrant. You get what I'm saying? So you guys have to tell me how you feel about that. But regardless, though, when it comes to your home life, your family life, your emotions, you're feeling very in charge and you have everything under control, which is great. I just say, though, be careful on being a little bit too aggressive. You could be assertive, but be careful on being aggressive when it comes to your home and family life, okay? Because they might not be liking your tyrant-y ways, okay? You know, the sun is in Libra for the first half of the month. And then Mercury was just in Libra the first week of October. And then the second half of the month, the sun's going to move over to Scorpio, which is in your fifth house. But with this energy here, with the Emperor card in your fourth house, and the sun's here, it means that when it comes to relationships, right, it's taking control over that relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, or whatever, right? And then you're kind of like allowing them to be, you know, in your private life, in your personal life, you know what I mean? But it's under your rule. It's under your control. You're controlling the narrative here. You get what I'm saying? Again, like you can't control everything. That's just something that cardinal signs need to realize, especially Capricorns. You can't control everything. Sometimes you have to let things just flow. But I understand that you want to control the narrative, control how people see your private life. I understand. But, you know, with the sun being here, you're truly identifying with your home life and relating to the people in your home life and relating to your own emotions. But just be careful being too aggressive, okay? And this energy is strong because this is a major arcana. So this is something that you're really feeling strongly about, and the sun is in your fourth house too, okay? So it's really strong energy here. It's the main focus, how you relate to your family life, how you relate to your own emotions, you know, stuff like that. You have the Queen of Cups for your fifth house, right? Which is called Cancer Throne, which is interesting. And your fifth house, having the Queen of Cups here, I feel like you are, this card gives me like total surrender energy. You get what I'm saying? That you surrender to the emotions and the energies of the universe around you, right? Which is pretty good because you are feeling how you feel regardless of what other people think, and you're expressing yourself. It's really, you really strongly like strengthen your intuition that way. You get what I'm saying? But you have to be careful too and protect yourself because, you know, it kind of gives me this, even though this Cancer Throne and Queen of Cups give me this Pisces vibe where it kind of picks up the energies of other people and sometimes confuse the other people's emotions with their own, right? And so be careful with that. But this gives me the vibe that when it comes to your creativity, your self-expression, that you are channeling other like energies and applying it through your creativity, applying it through your actual self-expression, applying it to your talents, applying it to the things that you create yourself, and even applying it to your children. If you have any children, right? What you're definitely doing here is understanding their emotions, feeling their emotions, and understanding them on a holistic level, and then applying you raising them that type of way. So it's just like beautiful energy to have, especially if you're a parent. But with the Queen of Cups in the fifth house too, you know, this is also your fun house or dating and romance. And so you may be doing that with someone that you're dating, but you also could be doing that when you generally are having fun. You're just extremely emotionally sensitive here, not in a cry boo-hoo way, but in more an intuitive way. You're just picking up energies good. So make sure when you do having fun, you're having fun in a safe place, a place that's like has beautiful, like clear, nice energy, not no fucked up, mean, bad energy, okay? Because you're going to pick that energy up and run with it and apply it to your life, and your life's going to kind of be shaky, okay? So be careful with that. This is interesting. Oh, actually, before I start this, right? Scorpio's here. The sun's going to be in Scorpio at the second end of the month. So just be sure that when the sun is in Scorpio and the second end of the month, that you are, you know, making sure that you are, again, around positive energy when you're having fun, when you're doing recreational stuff, when you're enjoying yourself. Because it could kind of shake things up in not a good way, okay? Yeah, I just felt like I had to say that for some reason. Another thing too is that a lot of energy is in Scorpio as of now. Mercury's in Scorpio, Venus is in Scorpio, the sun is going to be in Scorpio. Currently, the moon is in Scorpio. Jupiter's in Scorpio. So it's a lot of energy in Scorpio. So again, you're gonna be focused on having fun, but having fun only with people that you're intimate with, in a sense of emotionally bonded with. So it doesn't have to be a romantic intimacy, but just anyone that you have a romantic bond with. You're gonna be focused on kind of like having fun and learning about intimacy through having fun, through dating, you enjoying yourself. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna learn from it too. And believe it or not, since Jupiter's in your fifth, have luck. So try to be as creative as you can, because it will really work in your favor. You will not only learn different philosophies and beliefs and other things like that, but you will learn about intimacy and relationships on your own and have fun while doing it. And that's just lit. It's lit as hell. So Your sixth house is ruled by Sagittarius. There's nothing in Sagittarius at the moment, but you have the devil card for your sixth house. So I feel like you have to like change your habits and your daily routine, because you are in a place where something else has control over you, over your habits, over what you want. You don't have the full control like you think. You know what I'm saying? I think of the devil card, I kind of think of like possession, in the sense of you don't have the control, something else does. You know what I mean? That other thing does, that's controlling you. This could be drugs, this could be food habits, eating habits, habits about like not working out as much. Whatever habits that you have is really controlling your everyday life. So you need to be really, really careful about that, okay? All right. Sag is in your sixth house too, which is tricky for you, because Sagittarius in general is all about following their passions and going with it. So I can see how a Sagittarius will kind of suffer through habits that they're stuck with. Because again, they have this YOLO mentality where they follow their passions and go with it. So be careful. You don't have any planetary energies around at Sagittarius at the moment. And I think it's going to take a while before Jupiter's in Sag. Yeah, like I'm just looking at October 31st now. Only Mercury will be in Sag, okay? So just be careful with them habits, okay? Just acknowledge it. And maybe until November, where you really can have them under control, when Mercury's in Sag, when all your communication and thought processes are focused on like bettering your everyday habits. But just be aware of the things that are not in your full control, okay? The Judgment card is in the seventh house, okay? Judgment. Bless you. My mom sneezed, sorry. So the Judgment card. With the Judgment card, I feel like that it's Judgment card is interesting, because I feel like it's kind of saying that you have the keys to know what you're supposed to do. Now you have to use your better judgment to figure out what to do with this knowledge, with these keys, with these ideas, right? And this is specific to relationships. You actually know what you need to do in relationships to better them. You know what you need to work on. Oh, but what are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do to strengthen it? What are you going to do? Right? You have Capricorn. You have Capricorn in your seventh house. That means you have Pluto and Saturn here currently. And so with that energy, it's a lot. You're going through a lot when it comes to relationships. Again, Pluto's here. Pluto's all about transformation and rebirth and intimacy, right? And of course, you have this big focus on intimacy, because all the energies in Scorpio. And so you're kind of really focused on just like what intimacy versus dating versus relationships, like how they all mix together, how they all connect. And believe it or not, you actually know what you need to do, what the answers to your questions and everything. You need to kind of reflect on that and understand that. And once you have that self-realization, the transformation will start to complete and swing into your favor. You know what I mean? You'll have a better understanding of the transformation, and you'll be able to keep it going so you can get the best out of it. You get what I'm saying? Saturn's here too, so that means that, you may be feeling restricted when it comes to relationships, whether romantic, platonic, business, whatever. But you need to take authority. Hey guys, for some reason somebody just called me. Sorry about that. I need to fix that and make sure that it goes straight to voicemail. But anyways, yeah, basically what I'm saying with this card is that you know the answers. Some of the answers of your issues with relationships is You are going through a transformation. You're learning about what relationship you are going through a transformation. You're learning about what relationships mean to you and how to relate to people. And you understand too that you need to take authority, but in your relationship, stand up to them and get that status, get that reputation, get whatever you need in that relationship. But you know what you have to do. The thing is though, you have to make sure you don't overexert it. Like for instance, like I've noticed that a lot of people, what they do when they feel like, yeah, I do need to take authority in relationships, blah blah blah, right? They know that they have to do that, but what they do, they're over assertive, they overexert themselves, they become ridiculous and mean. That's not taking authority really, because you're being a dick about it instead of really trying to be mature and take authority in the more mature, harmonious way. We're talking about the seventh house here. Seventh house is all about being harmonious, relating to people, compromising, having meaning of the minds, and understanding different people's perspectives. You get what I'm saying? So just you know the answer. It's just if you really can't think of them on the top of your head, you have to kind of reflect. Make sure you have that self-realization. Get on board when it comes to this transformation, and take authority within the relationships that you're in and how you relate to people in general. Okay? Eighth house, Two of Wands. All right. So you probably are trying to make a decision when it comes to intimacy, if you should handle intimacy one way or another, or should you trust this person and be intimate with them or not, or should you trust that person or this person? It's just like something like that, right? And then with intimacy too, intimacy has so many different layers. It's like romantic intimacy, but there's also like intimacy of like other people's energies, taking in other people's energies in general. Like me reading other people, like that's very eighth house, because again, I'm getting into their energies and being intimate with them and like seeing their energies and working with them and telling them, giving them advice based off of that, right? This like, and then also like another form of intimacy too is knowing other people's money, like, because again, eighth house represents shared worth, right? So kind of seeing other people's money, like not everyone knows how much other people make or what their bank account looks like or whatever, you know what I mean? And so anywho, what you're doing is kind of trying to make a decision on how you should handle intimacy and when in the many layers of intimacy. And you're trying to plan and see how you can progress out of this situation, progress in intimacy, get the lover that you want, get the money that you need. And remember, eighth house kind of represents inheritances and what you call it, like lottery wins, like any like shared money that now you have claim of, you know what I mean? And so again, you're trying to make a decision and trying to plan based off of those decisions. Like, okay, if I do this, I can get that. If I do this, I can get that. And you're really trying to balance them off and try to not just be like a wand and just go for something, because you're really trying to think it through. You get what I'm saying? And so let me know if that's, accurate for you guys, okay? Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I just have to adjust this real quick. Oh, y'all have been talking to me all this time. Sorry. Oh, hey, Cherise. I just see, so I finally just seeing your comments. I wish I knew you were saying what you were saying yes to. Also, hopefully, and yeah, I noticed you said your connection's weird. Hopefully it's not mine. My connection's been kind of off too. So hopefully it's not me. Anywho, ninth house is the Ace of Swords, which is really interesting because with the Ace of, I feel like there's always a new beginning with the Ace of Swords, right? And so with the Ace of Swords, that means that you are probably looking through different philosophies, seeing which one kind of connects with you, and you're connecting with it on a logical level and seeing how can I apply this new belief, philosophy, religion, whatever, into my life, and how can it work? You know what I mean? And so you're really cutting off the old stuff again, very tower-like, right? Cutting off the old stuff and bringing in a new belief, a new philosophy to that better resonates your life and can better progress your life as well. You get what I'm saying? Um, I've actually forgot to mention the planets here. So Aquarius is your eighth house, and Mars is here. And so again, kind of like that. That's just makes so much sense because remember how I was saying you was future planning, you was trying to figure out, should I do this or should I do that? That's very Mars in Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius is kind of like they're motivated by their ideas, by their mind, by their logic, and so they're like the major brainstorming energy. And so you really try to brainstorm on how you should not only handle intimacy, but your shared worth and general money that you share with other people and stuff like that. And then here, Pisces is here. So I feel like the new philosophy or belief or whatever, or maybe the foreign travel that you might be interested in or long distance travel that you're interested in is connected to not only healing, but it's connected to spirituality and how to connect yourself in a spiritual way, or how to fix your self-undoings and self-sabotaging ways. You get what I'm saying? It's because Neptune and Chiron is in your ninth house. And with that energy, like Neptune, as you know, represents spirituality, you fully connecting your spiritual self with your earthly self. And that, in turn, is connected to your self-undoing, self-sabotaging ways and healing that. And then Chiron is all about healing. So with your healing with Chiron and Pisces is your self-undoing. So again, this new idea, this new belief, this new philosophy, or you traveling to different places, you're hoping that this will heal you in some way to make you become a better person. So that's cool. Aries is your 10th house. In the 10th house, you have the Justice card. This reading is mad long, guys. I'm sorry that it's so long. With the Justice card, that's funny, you have the Judgment and the Justice, right? That's really interesting. With the Justice card, though, in your 10th house, 10th house represents reputation, represents status, career, and stuff like that, right? And so you probably, justice is being served on either of those things. You probably went through some BS at your work or at your job that was unfair, but justice is actually being served and you are actually being taken care of, and people that should be seeing it in a fair and balanced way will be seeing it in a fair and balanced way. This could not only be with your career, but it could be with your reputation or your status somehow. So it could be something as simple as like people know you for making good cakes, but you had like 2 reviews that said your cakes were disgusting, and then like they made this has kind of messed up your sales, but then they're gonna be like caught, like they're gonna be known for doing this type of stuff, or people are gonna realize that they were wrong, and then justice will be served. I know that's kind of like a ridiculous example, but I'm trying to get you a better idea of how this is kind of related to your reputation and your status as well, not just career based. So whatever situation in which you felt like justice didn't serve you well, justice will be served in the most fair, balanced way. But the thing is, though, is that, this is a neutral card too. So if you did wrong, justice is still going to be served for the right person. If you did right, then justice is still going to be served with the right person, and it will be you. You know what I mean? So that's the energy there. And Aries, there's nothing in Aries currently. So no planetary energy here. 11th house is the King of Cups, right? And with the King of Cups, this is kind of like ultimate emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, right? Really having a great understanding of how you feel and accepting it and going with it and being mature, not being overly emotional, but also not being an emotional dud. Just very balanced energy. It's dope. I love the King of Cups. And so you're going to be this way with your friends, with your colleagues, with your acquaintances, with your circle in general, and with society. Zen'd out, like master that, like kind of like spiritual master that really just you're just gonna have it together. Just friends. So your friends might even be coming to you asking for help, like for like not like help before advice or for a clearer understanding or better understanding of a certain situation. And you'll be like, yes, child, come to me. And you're gonna be helping them out in that way. You're just gonna be coming off more mature. And even if there's like some stupid drama happening within your friends or whatever, like you're still just gonna come up mature and on top and just seeming smart. You know what I mean? So that's dope. Uranus is in your 11th house because Taurus is ruling your 11th. And so, again, that douche, especially Uranus being retrograde, it does show that some random pop up crazy shit might be popping off, right? And it's going to try to affect you. This is the universe testing you. But it doesn't matter because you're the King of Cups. You're emotionally intelligent. You're smart. You got it together. So it's not going to matter. You get what I'm saying? So that's really cool. It's just, you're just going to have it together. And that's really nice. And with Uranus being retrograde, I kind of see this too as, yeah, it's random events kind of popping off out of nowhere. But with it being retrograde, I feel like low key that it's events that been planned all along. And so it may be shocking and random to you, but again, it's kind of been written all along. You get what I'm saying? Uranus in Taurus too kind of gives me this idea of you. It gives me this idea of you accepting your quirks, your uniqueness, your authenticity, and understanding your self-worth and how that is also connected to your self-worth and how it's important. And with you accepting yourself, you're gonna get great opportunities, and society is gonna accept you, and you'll be able to not only look great to society, but also be able to take advantage of society and monetize out of a certain situation. So you having the King of Cups in 11th house is just beautiful. Great, great energy, okay? And it shows too that you're actually you're currently still reflecting on your authenticity, on your weirdness, on your quirkiness, and accepting it. You get what I'm saying? So it's good energy to have here. Lastly, you have the Knight of Pentacles. House and the Knight of Pentacles is a beautiful energy. It's slow moving, okay? And the 12th house, right? The 12th house is the house of spirituality. So you are realizing your self-undoing ways. You're really connecting with spirit, your ancestors, God, and all that stuff, right? And you're trying to use spirituality to better your life in a practical way, strengthen your earthly life to make sure you enjoy life at the most, but the thing in the most way possible. But the thing is, though, is that the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving. Traditionally, in my old cards, it's literally a man on top of a tortoise. And, you know, tortoises and turtles are slow. You get what I'm saying? And so you may be feeling like, I'm praying, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm doing like connecting with God and my ancestors, but my money's not coming in yet, and the things are not working out in the earthly realm like I want it to. It will in divine timing, okay? And when it happens, it's going to be like beautiful, like it's going to be even more than you expected, more than you dreamed of, okay? All right, this was a long ass reading, Cancer Risings, probably because y'all been stressing the hell out. I hope this was helpful though. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, care, and all that good stuff. If you're interested in a personal reading, check out my Etsy shop. It's etsy.com/shop/astrodim. If you are interested in supporting me on Patreon, getting special footage and videos there, go ahead and do that. It starts off at $2 a month, so just do it. Support the kids, shit. And then if you're interested in checking out my podcast, you can literally listen to it to most podcast and music streaming platforms. It's called My Bed and Astrology. And right now, every single day, I'm posting an episode about, and I'm calling it Podcast Ween, and it's about conspiracy theory deaths of celebrities. And I'm searching a celebrity every single day, and I'm looking at their birth chart and death charts to see if we can kind of bust it open and solve the case ourselves. Cool, huh? But just remember, your overall card is the Magician. And so all these changes and things that are happening, it's off of you manifesting and making things happen and through your mind and through your communication and really believing in it, okay? So make sure you manifest in the right way. All right? Much love, Cancer Risings.